Hello, everyone. This is Duran's Healing, and welcome to tonight's Healing Circle. For those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel as I provide weekly energetic updates for the collective. And as I began to blaze this fire tonight, gather around and contribute your very powerful energy. Whether it be a like, a share, subscribe, or comment below to let me know how these messages are showing up in your world. And for starters, I would like to say for those of you who are new here, my name is Duran's Healing and I provide Cowrie Divination Show readings. And this is an ancient indigenous technology system where I use cowrie shells, crystals, stones, and bones, and a lot of other assorted items here in conjunction with the 5 elements: the fire, the water, the nature, the earth, and the mineral. And this tool system allows me to see the energies moving throughout the cosmos. And with that being said, I would like to dive into the stones to see what the higher energy has in store for us tonight. And the message that's speaking the loudest is coming from your spirit guides, your ancestor team, or your higher team, and they're bringing attention to a cooling or a calming energy here. But there's 2 different messages that are ringing very loudly. And the first being that there is some nurturing or supportive energy around you, nurturing you into your power. And you may feel this in a very unique way because it might not come in the form or the shape that you expect it to come in. However, you will feel it. And when you do, you will know it because you will be propelled up into a powerful position, more like security, more like comforting your dreams is what I'm sensing here. Yeah, this is attached to your visions being materialized here in this way. And by it coming down on this energetic thread, this cloak appears, like covering you up in a way so that you know that you're grounded in a proper fashion. But this cloak, you expect it to feel a certain way, to look a certain way. However, when it shows up, you will still feel this warmth, this knowing that it is divinely aligned for you energetically. Yeah, that's what I mean by it may show up in a way that you do not expect. But the groundedness, the security, and the sureness of it will make you feel so uplifted that you cannot deny this energy. It will flow directly towards you, towards the alignment of your dream. That's what I'm seeing here. But also what I'm sensing here in this message is that there may be a small group of people, a handful of people that may share this commonality of power that you have. It's like you all are powerful people, but due to your experiences, you're learning that it's best that you connect with people who are equally as powerful or on this same level playing field that you're on, and that's this energy. A very close-knit, connected group of people that you're coming in contact with that you may not have expected or ever interacted with these type of people on your day-to-day life. But somehow, in the turn of events, you all connecting together will create this power team because the intimate relationship is here. And the stone that represents a portal, this path of wisdom, this path of clarity, will like almost sink you guys in to another world. It's due to the energy. Don't worry about how the package comes wrapped. Focus more on the ingredients of it. Yeah, the amount of sodium, the amount of sugar, yeah, the intake that you read on the back of a box. Verify that first. And when you do, you'll realize this is the exact components, ingredients, nutrients that I'm looking for because I can see it here. And when you ingest it, another wave will open, another portal will open with the very same vision that you saw in your dreams. Lo and behold, is here for you. That will take you further in the realm of devotion. That will make your heart sing to say, this is the exact melody that I've heard ringing over and over again. Yeah, the wisdom will show up. The devotion will show up here. That's what I'm seeing here in the stones. But quite interestingly, I'm more interested in seeing what this vision is about for you. It's almost as if the stars or the stones are finally turning in your favor to the point where the manifestation of your dream can now come into fruition by the way the energies are moving with your power stone, with your portal stone here. But what is it about? And I would like to dive into the cards to gain a little bit more clarity surrounding this energy. What is this message about for the collective? And in terms of this message that's showing up here in the stones, the cards that came out were Know the Difference, Wield Your Power, Underworld, Condensation, Dreaming, and Off Track. And what I'm downloading here is that some of you in the collective are starting to see a very drastic difference in the energies around you. You know how to pick up on it. But not only that, you're starting to know how to use these different energies to your advantage. Yeah, you're learning how to wield your power. You're ascending up to this point surrounding your knowledge of energy, and you're using it for your benefit. This is a deep and profound level of understanding of the spirit. And you have made it to this point. But now that you're wielding your power, you're starting to know or learn that it might be conducive to pull in your dreams. It might be in your best interest, for your higher good, for the best version of yourself, to pull it in. This is what you've been dreaming about. This is what you have been doing in the corridors of your home. This is the very thing that has kept you awake at night. And now that the opportunity has presented itself by way of the energies, but also by the way of your knowledge and advancement of your energetic consciousness, you're learning how to wield your power. Not only that, it's taking you to the world below. It's taking you into an energetic framework that you did not know was here. That there is a plethora of different energies who are radiating on this very same wavelength. You're meeting people who have already built their residence here. You are meeting people who have dived into the realm of the spirit, who have wielded their own power. That's what I'm seeing here for some of you. This is showing up in your world, and now you are learning how to condense certain energies and certain frequencies that are not in proper alignment with you wielding your power in, with you making the proper connections with the frequencies around you to pull it in. Dreaming came out. You're no longer a dreamer. You're turning into a manifestor. Manifesting the very things that you saw into this reality, into this paradigm, because you're making the right connections. You're meeting the right people people. You're meeting with the right frequency to bring it in. Before, you always felt as if you were off track, like something was wrong with you. Not that you were ill-equipped, you knew that you were more than capable, but there was something a bit off track for you, like you couldn't quite get it right. But now the stars are unfolding for you to say it was never nothing wrong with you. You just needed to be with the right kinds of people to advance your level of skill set in a particular area. You just had to do a little bit of fine tuning in certain parameters of your life so that it synchronizes itself so that your dreams can be brought in. Because quite uniquely, your dream is so powerful, it's so potent, but it's calibrated on a certain coding. It doesn't matter who gets on the horse. If you don't know how to ride it, you don't know how to ride it. It doesn't matter who gets on the tractor. If you don't know how to turn it up and to do what it is built to do, you're not going to get anywhere. That's the energy that I'm seeing surrounding your dreams. You have everything that you needed. However, you needed to learn how to crank it up a notch. You need to learn how to turn left or to turn right. And once you learn that little bit of component, that little piece, the ground is open for you. That's this energy that I'm seeing here about your power and connecting with the right kinds of people that will make you dive deeper into this portal. This portal in the cards is the underworld. Underneath it is your dream, signifying this devotion stone. Your spirit has always been on this track. Your spirit has always been quite the dreamer. However, action is ensuing because your wisdom, your knowledge is quite potent enough to know better. To leave you off out here in the stratosphere, not grounding it into the paradigm that you live in. They will not waste their energy on that because it is sophisticated enough to know better. That's why these energies are mounting in this way to say, reel it in. You have the energies around you. Don't mistake it because it doesn't come cloaked in the way that you expect it to come in. Focus on the ingredients. Focus on the character. And once you do, portals will open. The right kinds of people will be at your fingertips. Period. Very interesting message here. Thank you all for joining me in tonight's healing circle. And with that being said, I would like to jump back into the stones to see what the second message is about that they're pulling my attention on. And what I'm downloading here in the second message is about your authenticity. And I don't want you to mistake this as something small. There's something very powerful in who you are and how you're built. You're built a certain way. You're calibrated a certain way. And everything in your life has verified that. Even if it made you appear or made you feel like you weren't good enough, quite to the contrary, you were more than enough. And you going down this path in your healing journey to fill your cup up. That's what it is. When you felt low, you did not deviate or try to make yourself overcompensate in a way. No, you went a different path. You went on a healing path to fill your own cup up. You didn't look on the outside for external validation. What I'm seeing here is that you went on the inside to fill yourself up because you knew you had everything that it took to get you beyond this thing that you were dealing with. And what it showed you was that you were quite skilled in energy. You were quite skilled in the spirit realm. The people around you weren't built in this way, but you had a certain advancement in terms of energy. And this was quiet as kept was your gift. And what pulled you in this direction was this wild side of you. The very thing that people ostracized you for was the very thing that led you towards your gift. led you towards something that you knew you had to deliver. Not only that, the energies pushed you in that way. You could not move in a different way even if you wanted to. No, you kept going. The energies kept pulling you, and lo and behold, you found your skill. Even if it made you feel confused, because I can see this stone here in the energies now. The energies now are telling me what you're dealing with, but because I'm a diviner, I can see that this was something you've always dealt with. Dealing with being confused at why you're moving in a different way from the masses, why you were ostracized in a way from your sibling group, being the sore thumb, being the scapegoat. But this was your blessing to push you to see different sides of yourself, to expand you beyond your comfort zone. And on one end, it led you to be quite the analytical person. You might be, for those of you in the collective, I'm picking up on someone who is very critical, very analytical about everything. And you're this way because of what you have gone through. It has forced you to have a third eye. Your two eyes weren't enough. Your third eye had to be open for you to see beyond the veil of the physical, seeing into energies, making you quite the analyzer, depicting and picking apart certain things that most people can't see with their naked eye. But this has afforded you wisdom and protection. But on the other end of this confusing path is your visibility. See, you may have been the one being pushed to the side, but because of this cultivation of your skill set, it has made you the master, so that no matter where you go, people will always see you as knowledgeable, see you as I'm seeing quite the worker. You keep your head down and work. And it's because of your ability to always want to excel, right? You always want to get things right. I'm sensing some of you may be quite the perfectionist at what you do. Your heart is in it. Your devotion is in it. But not only that, you will go down whatever path you need to go to get down to the bottom of things, making you quite the change agent, or the one that takes action on head first. You will go first before others will go, making you the trendsetter. But also, it deepens your relationship with the realm of water, because you're operating on this frequency by you moving in this way, because water is very fluid. And that is what you have been doing. That is the energy that you're operating on. Moving with the flow of life. Moving with the flow of the energies that you feel. And it's connecting you to your sophistication right now. A level of genius within you that the world is starting to see. You're quite confused, not only by you being pushed up as a master, even if you're new to this territory, people see an expert in you, but also the confusion comes with the wave of energy. Like you're trying to keep up with the pace of things, but your sophistication is guiding you along your merry way, as if you're a leader in this, like you've done this before. Yeah. And you're wandering like a deer caught in headlights. But there's something very masterful in your energy, and that is intriguing me the most. How you're still able to be a master in the midst of the chaos, going into different territories, and you're still coming out on top as a winner. How do you do it? Your energy is synchronized into the flow of the consciousness, into a higher trajectory that knows what it's doing. But I would like to pull some cards to get a little bit of insight about your sophistication and how you're able to maneuver yourself on this level quite beautifully, very impressively. What is this sophistication stone about for the collective? And in terms of your sophistication stone, the cards that came out were release fear, new age, love openly, allow yourself to be free, pressure, and guidance. Very interesting. And what I'm downloading here is that this wave of energy is pushing you into new heights, into new territories. Your sophistication has a very unique component in it that you have hoarded within yourself. Oh, I see. You're keeping it close to your chest. You know you're skilled. You know you're advanced. You know you can do things that others cannot imagine because you're built a certain way. There's something in this message that is surrounding something about what you have gone through. Yeah, I'm picking up on some tumultuous energies in childhood. I don't know what I'm gathering, but something in your world has built you to this point, has built your energy to be at this level. Yeah, you can't make this. It has to be in you, and you have it. But now that you're entering into a different territory where people can see this in you, it is requiring you to release the fear. Release the fear that it was attached to in its inception. Because it was a defense mechanism initially, what I'm seeing here. Your sophistication started as a protective measure for yourself to safeguard yourself from hostility. I don't know. I'm still gathering something about a hostile childhood for some of you. But this has cultivated a level of genius within you because you've made it out. You maneuver yourself through all the loops and hoops as a way to protect yourself. But not only that, it has built a level of skill set within you that no one has ever seen before. Nothing that this world has ever experienced. New age came out. I can't make this up, you guys. New age came out, which means that your energy and what you have gone through is so potent. It's so powerful that this world will begin to see a new version of what a human is, of what spirit is. It's like you're creating this new age of consciousness by your frequency alone. And little did they know the hate or the hostility that you have experienced has turned itself on its head. Like you flipped a penny and no longer working through pain. You have turned it over to turn your pain into love. The very pain that you experience now is what the world is feeling by way of your love, by way of your passion, by way of you pushing through this fear and releasing and unleashing this wave of love. But it requires you to allow yourself to be free. You have to free yourself in order to access the version of this sophistication that the world will feel. And it may feel like this pressure around you. Like you're being pressured to do something, being pressured to come out. I don't know if you've been called to enter into a new job. You've been called to take on a new role or a leadership role in some way, shape, or form in your workforce, in a friend group, something about, even if it's in a leisure activity. There is pressure here that is pushing you to be a guide, pushing you to step into a leadership role, because the truth of the matter here is that this sophistication that you carry or that you've cultivated cannot be contained. You can't contain it even if you want to. It's so potent and so complex, it will burst outside of you. That's why people are calling it in. You're wondering why you're being pulled, why people are calling you to take on this certain role. You cannot be isolated. You cannot keep this to yourself. Even if it causes confusion, even if it makes you feel like a deer caught in the headlights, allow yourself to be free. And what you will find, you will turn into a guide. so swiftly, so quickly, and you're wondering, how are people not getting this? It's because you've cultivated yourself all these years in the shadows. And as you step out, or as this sophistication stone pushes you out in a world of confusion, the master in you still lives. Period. Very powerful message. Thank you all for joining me in tonight's healing circle. And if you stayed thus far, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, or comment below to let me know how these messages are showing up in your world. And what I will do at this time, I would like to pull some cards very briefly to see what other messages the higher energy would like for me to convey with you all at this time. What other messages the higher energy would like for me to convey with the collective? And in terms of this higher message, the cards that came out were narcissistic traits, stop, subspace window, gateway, trust, present, and feel it. And what I'm downloading here is that for some of you in the collective, this may be a very specific message. But what I'm downloading here is that some of you have had to work through some very difficult situations, very tumultuous energies, which has forced you to come to a full stop to reevaluate who you were and what you were in. And what you realize is that it wasn't you. You were just in an environment that wasn't conducive to your energy. And you taking a plunge to break free or to get out of this environment or to get out of this situation, it was because you trusted your intuitive guidance, which has led you to a subspace window, almost like this gateway that you had no choice but to take this plunge because your life was on the line for some of you. This is a very heavy energy. And by you getting out of this, you learn to trust yourself. You learn to trust on the spirit, on the higher power, because now in the present, you can see in hindsight the magnitude of your choice, of the decision that you made, because it would boil down to you feeling it. Feeling your pull, feeling the way that you needed to move in order to get yourself out of it. And lo and behold, this is the very thing that you lean on. This decision point was so pivotal, a very powerful point in your life, but it almost segmented or segued or cemented itself like a flag. Like the first astronaut landing itself on the moon, that you made it out, you made it. But you will never have to question what you feel. You will never have to question yourself anymore because you know that you made the right choice. And now you're learning or trying to figure out what to do with this intuitive guidance that you feel. It doesn't matter how many messages that you read on or listen to on YouTube. I may be one of many voices that you listen to as guidance, but nothing supersedes that intuitive guidance that you have. Life has taught you better. Life has taught you more because you felt it. And now you're trying to figure out how to use this as a compass to navigate yourself in the right way. Navigate how you feel. Navigate your intuition to lead you down the right path, because you're in new territories now. You're in new environment now. Now you're around people you can trust. Now you're around people that are lighter, and you're trying to figure out how to use this intuitive GPS system to your benefit. Don't worry. You're going to do it because that intuition supersedes all. That's the higher message here. Thank you all for joining me in tonight's healing circle. I have taken myself to the edge because I myself can feel it. Thank you all for joining me. And what I would like to do at this time, I would like to come down and close out tonight's healing circle. And I will see you all at the next.